Hi everybody, welcome back. Okay, so in the first couple of videos we did the basic construction engineering of the book, where we got we decided on the size of the book, how we were going to make the spine, and how we were going to make the binding and the pages and put all that together. So now we're at the fun part where we're going to design the actual book. All the interactive elements, where the paper is going to go. So here's the book, and if you remember, we had designed it based around this piece as the cover, and I have cut it, and as you can see, this piece is not quite big enough for the cover, but we knew that when we designed it. We could have made the book smaller, but I wanted it a little bigger, and I will use some sort of embellishment here that'll disguise this lighter band at the bottom. So I cut that out already just to make sure I didn't cause myself any problem and not have it, although I've got 4 copies of each page because this is Prima. And the other thing I did, if you remember, I had like this piece, and I cut that out. So that leaves me with this. So let's go back to our book and take a look. Now if I want a vertical pocket, and I know that I do because I want to use that piece that I marked, I don't want to put it here, even though I kind of like to open a book and have a pocket right there. I don't think. Maybe I will put it there. The only reason I'm dithering about putting it here is I put one in this spot in the last book I made. But, you know, 6 months down the road, is that going to matter? Because I have lots of books that don't have a pocket right there. I don't really want to put it on here or here because I have pockets here. Don't think I want to put it here in the center in case I want to put something more dramatic in the middle. This leaves a lot of room for embellishing, which is kind of nice if you want to tuck something on the pocket. I think this may be where that goes. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is, we know that the pocket has got to be 4.5 inches tall. That's all the room that we have. And I'll do this where you can see it. This little bird, I don't know if you can see, it's foiled, it might be glaring, goes off the edge up into this area. So I'm going to include that area. Let me move the tape back so you can see. So I am going to start my 4.5 from the top. That's fine. And the width of this little section of design is just a hair over 2.5. And remember, this is the mat, so it's going to be a little bit smaller than the actual pocket. So I think if I make the pocket itself 2.5 by 4.5, this will be good for the mat. So let's go ahead, and if the pocket is going to be 2.5 wide, I need to add a 1/2 inch. Oh, let's go on this side. I need to add a 1/2 inch for the tab, right? So it's got to be 3 inches. And it's 4.5 with a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch, right? So that's 5.5. So I need 5.5 by 3. And as it happens, you should have a 3-inch scrap. All right, so that's going to go over here. I keep trying to put it in the wrong place. Maybe that means it should go there. Okay, so now let's score this at a 1/2 inch at each end and down one long side. Okay. That doesn't look right. Okay. And let me set that aside. Got my little scissors. And we are going to trim out the corners just like we always do with pockets. And there and there. Fold and burnish. before we go much further, let's go ahead and I'm just dry fitting this in the book. Make sure it fits. That looks good. Oops. My goodness, what did I just do? Hang on. Go. Check to make sure you don't have any wonky corners. Everything looks good. Does this fit? It fits. Okay. All right. Let's get some glue. And we're just going to put a dot there and a dot there. This paper is so fun and pretty that I don't think I'm going to do a lot of fussy pages here. I find the more plain your paper, the more interactive elements you need, just to give it interest. But if your paper's got a lot going on, then you can scale back a little bit on the other stuff. Of course, scaling back on the other stuff for me may not mean the same as you. I tend to put a lot of stuff in my books. Okay, that fits well. Just double checking. When you put this, now I'm going to put glue on all three sides. When you put this in the book, you want it up about, a 32nd of an inch. If this was one of the pages that didn't have a gusset, you might want to leave it up even a little higher, like a 16th. But I've got this quite wide gusset, so I can go close to the fold on this one. Okay. Now I can see, hang on, let me find a pocket page. I could see this pocket, so I knew that I was right side up. Double check before you glue anything in that you know your book is right side up. Okay, where's my baby wipe? Again, I'm using these CVS baby wipes, and I like them. I don't seem to get a lot of lint or anything like that. Now, since we know what we're going to use to mat this, we can go ahead and mat it. So let's go ahead and cut the mat. Now, just because you know how wide you cut it, you should still measure it, because that doesn't mean it came out exactly so. So we can cut this mat anywhere between 2 1/4 and 2 3/8. Just depends how much reveal you want, by 4 1/4 by 4 3/8. So I think I'm going to leave quite a narrow reveal because the paper is so pretty. So I am going to cut 2 3/8 by 4 3/8. That looks nice. Now comes the question. Do we want to ink these? Well, I do have pink. All right, let's play with that. Oops. Down original pink. Again, we're going to use this scrap and see how the pink looks. All right, I definitely like pink better than brown. All right, I am going to do, you know what, I think I may just ink it from the back, so just the very edge gets inked. And it's not particularly visible on the front. How's that? Yeah, okay, that'll work. This is Victorian velvet. Okay, I am using my art glitter glue to mat this. Don't mind my head, sorry about that. like that, and I'm okay with that pink ink. All right. Now, let's choose something for here. Nope, don't like that. Let's see, where are those all over designs? That looks great. Does it take away too much from that though? That looks spectacular. Okay, so far that's my fave. That looks nice. Doesn't add a lot to it. Again, doesn't do anything to it. We have this. I like that, but not that much. Yep, it's going to be that. Okay. Let's get that cut. And now one thing, let me show you. I have this, something like this that has like a half circle coming out. That would work. It's not my choice. It's not the one I'm going to use. But don't forget those kind of papers, because that'll work. All right, so I need a piece that is 4 3/8. It's going in the pocket, so it might need to be more like 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. And this is really nice. I'm going to cut that off so that I can use it. That is nice. I like that. All right, so let's go ahead and ink that up with our Victorian Velvet. Again, I'm going to do it from the back so it doesn't show too much. The front, although the front's pretty dark, I don't think it would show anyway. This side, for some reason, my cutter cut it a little rough, so I'm just going to, I'll put that on the inside where it won't show. I really need to get in touch with Fiskars and see what's what with my cutter doing that occasionally. Okay. Oops, sorry, I can't see. I'm just putting some ink, some glue on this page. And there it goes. Right. Now, when you're putting something like that inside a pocket, just insert something in there. Make sure you have not glued your pocket shut. Okay, that looks good. We got our first page with our first element matted, and that looks good. I like that. Let's do this flap. Okay, so our question is, it's going to be a flap. Do we want to flip up? Do we want to flip over? If it flips over, should it be a pocket too? How about this? How about we make a flap that goes like this, and then on the back of it, where normally you would have a photo mat, maybe put a little pocket, or maybe just leave it for a photo mat. I don't know, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a flip that goes sideways. So let's start with this, measuring it, and it is full-sized. It's 4 3/8 by 3 1/2. So if it's 3 1/2, I want to cut a piece that's 3 3/4 high by 4 3/8. Let's just cut it 5 for now, and I can trim it down. No, that's 5 is going to be way too big. No, actually, I think 5 is going to be fine because I need a 1/2 inch for the flap. So, okay, so we're going to do 5. What did I say? And 5 by 3 3/4. All right. Alright, so I'm just going to, where's the edge? This is the kind of rough edge for whatever reason. So I'm going to make this flap 3/8 instead of a 1/2, I think. Okay, I think it would help if I cut this piece out just to play with so I have a better idea of what I'm working with. Gee, look at that. Look how rough that is. I need to get with Fiskars because that's definitely not right. I'm not going for a shabby chic look here. Okay, so I think I need to cut about 1/8 of an inch. All right, that looks nice. I like that. Okay, let me get this out of the way. And I think I showed you in another video. Is you can take a little emery, just really, it looks like I'm doing this hard, but I'm not. I'm just really gently smoothing that edge where my cutter did things a little rough. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and ink this before I put it in. I mean, I'm going to ink it, I'm going to mat it, then I'm going to put it in the book. This one I am inking from the front because it is quite light and I think it would look fine. Okay, yeah, that's fine. This is a, God, that edge is so rough, I hate that. Directional, so make sure you get it. Let me go ahead and fold and burnish this tab before. Okay, so make sure you put this right side up because it is directional. Okay, just like that. It's gonna look nice. And then we'll decide later what we're going to put on the back, if we're going to put that little pocket that I mentioned, or we may just leave it for photo mat. I tend to not leave a lot of room for photos. Now, this, I quite like this paper, and I may actually have some photos that I want to put in it. Where I live, you can go outside and see rockets going up when they launch. You can see them from my house. Now I'm fairly far away, so you don't see every little bit, but you can see the vapor trails and all that as they go up. That's pretty cool. So I have pictures. Okay, I like space. I really, always been a fan of our space program and all that. Now, if you remember from the last time I did a dark album, sometimes it's easier to put a piece of white behind it. Okay, so let's put that down. This tab is going to be covered eventually by another mat, so I'm not worried about trimming the corners or anything. All right, so you see I just put some glue there, can you see? And I'm just eyeballing it up against this edge. And I'm almost certainly going to put a magnet, which I may do even now. I'm almost out though, and I just ordered some. So what I may do, because I have a terrible habit of forgetting to put my magnets, is take a piece of my tape and put it here and put on it magnet. So hopefully I won't forget. All right. So I'm not going to do any more matting on this page because I have to wait for those magnets to come. I have some that I could use, but they're kind of thick, and I don't really want to use them. I like the thin ones. All right, so that's cool. All right, let's see, where's our list? Let's look at our list of things. We've already done a side pocket, but that doesn't mean we won't do another side pocket, and we have done a flap. This is just awesome by itself. I'm wondering if I shouldn't just cut this entire thing out, make it a mat, and then make a tuck spot out of it. I think that's just what I'm going to do. I don't know if that's the page where it's going to go, but let me get it cut out and I can play with it. Now I cut it big so I could play with it. The height is actually not bad. It's a little bit tall. I'm going to have to trim a little bit off. Let's see. That's not bad. Then I don't really like this piece of tape. I don't know why they felt the need to stick that on there. So what I'm thinking is I can put a tuck spot here. The question is, if I put a tuck spot there, the page is lifted this way, whatever's in it could slide out. So if I put it here, then the tuck spot's to the inside, and that's not as likely to happen. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. That's where that's going to go. All right, so I need to cut this piece to, oops. Hang on, let's get that, let's see it. 5 3/8, even 5 1/4. Okay, so I'll trim this. Yeah, that's good. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and ink this. I think this one I'll ink from the front. But again, I'm inking very, very lightly. I do not want a whole ton of ink showing on the front. keeping the mat shifted to the right slightly and with a little bit bigger gap here to the inside, just because there is no gusset here. This is where the page folds, so I don't want to add a lot of bulk into that center area where I don't have a gusset. Okay, that's nice, and then we'll put something there for a tuck spot. Okay. All right, so we have our flap. We're going to put a magnet there. We put our vertical pocket here and our tuck spot there. Okay, I think that's enough for now. Let's stop, we'll take a break, and I think probably what I'm going to do is wait for my magnets to come before I go too much further. They should be here shortly, because I'm kind of limited what I can do without them. All right, so I will be back for you very soon, and we will continue on with our Design With Me project. Thanks so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, and hit the notification bell so that you do not miss the next video. Thank you.